All right, here in the finals, we've got the choice. Playing first. Um, interesting. Let's see. No black mana. We do have white mana. We can play Dragon Bell Monk with any mana. We can also play quite a few of our 2-drops. If I don't draw black, if I do draw black, I can eventually flatten. I think I'm going to keep. Not a great keep, but a hand that potentially gets really good with a black mana. Or I shouldn't even say a black mana. I mean, a black mana is ideal, but any mana. So we at least have, right off the bat, we have 14 draws that just straight up directly benefit this hand. On top of that, we at least have some 2-drop white spells that also benefit this hand. There you go. So there's step one. Already drew well for this hand. I mean, we don't have a 2-drop play, but we're still okay. No 2-drop from our opponent either. Land continuously flowing is not too bad at the moment. All right. I think I probably just flatten that. Can't defeat it, so guess we'll just flatten. Get in for 3. This lets me get in for 3 damage and prevents him from casting a 5-drop next turn, as well as getting some damage in. So we'll see if we get to play defeat. I'm pretty much hoping on a morph here. Would love to see a morph. I wouldn't mind too much if he played a burn spell on our Dragon Bell Monk either, and I certainly wouldn't mind drawing a swamp. I think that goes without saying. A swamp is likely the best possible draw we could have off the top on our next turn. All right, just land go, which is pretty interesting. Not the land I was looking for, unfortunately. He was deliberating burning it. We're just going to pass. Only because we don't have anything else to do. Wonder if opponent is mono red. That would certainly be interesting. Alright, sprinting Warbrute, hard cast. I guess I could dash. Get in for 4. Feel like I'm in a decent position to race a sprinting Warbrute. Otherwise I can attack with a monk Enduring Victory, but we don't get any damage through. I'm in a decent racing position. This has to attack each turn. So I can Shaman, swing for 4, and pass. Take 5. Although this does open him up for some tail lash moves. Let's go for the Enduring Victory play. I don't like him having a 5-4. Could also take it, I guess. If he takes it, I guess I just leave up. Yeah, I guess I just leave up Enduring Victory then. I'm okay with that. He also did not reveal a dragon. This would be a good time for him to play a morph and us to defeat it. Oof. Retainers is pretty good, though. That's a bit more harsh. Well, I would say Executioner is a good draw to counter that. So let's play the Executioner. Certainly makes me happy we picked the Executioner over the Sandstep Outcast in that situation. All right. Dashing. Defeat currently not looking so good in this matchup. So I think I want to dash here. If I play the Sky Captain, like I'm in a better racing position than my opponent, although he's getting the loot. He also can respond to the trigger and just deal some damage to it. I could just play the Sky Captain just 'cause. Or I can... I think I play Sky Captain for no value as just a blocker or something he burns. Either one I guess is okay. Otherwise, I don't like... What I don't like is, even though we're ahead on the race, I don't like that he gets a loot. That seems less appealing. So I'd rather give up my bolster 2, which is okay, and hit that land for Archfiend, I guess. But yeah, currently we've actually yet to see something that defeat can hit. That Vaultbreaker did a lot of work for him. He lost 2 mountains for potentially 2 spells there. Oof, that's pretty rough too. Can't do nothing about it though. So taking a lot of damage here, taking 6, I believe. Pretty rough, but we've literally seen nothing that I can hit with defeat. I'm pretty convinced he doesn't even actually have a creature in his deck that I can hit with defeat. I'm gonna, I guess, play Sunscorch Regent and hope he doesn't have a 4 damage burn spell for it. I mean, Tail Lash gets us good, obviously. I need actual creatures, though, to even use Harsh Sustenance, which is kind of a problem. All right, so we do gain some life here. Pretty surprised he did that pre-combat. I guess if he swings with both creatures, I probably just take it. Because I don't want to lose my Sunscorch Regent at this juncture. So if I play Sunscorch Regent and he plays Kindled Fury, my Sunscorch Regent lives. If he plays Wild Slash or Draconic Roar, my Sunscorch Regent dies. Can I afford to take 7 damage is like the ultimate question. Is you can have a 4 damage burn spell after the... He's too confidently attacking in with Mardu Scout. I'm going to take it. Very easily could have been bluffed there, but I think it's less likely that he bluffed than him just having a good combat trick, is my guess. Whether or not that's true, guess remains to be seen. Oof, that was a bad draw. Let's pass. So here's my plan. We're going to block the Mardu Scout, and if he plays a combat trick, we'll Harsh Sustenance. So we've seen Temur Battle Rage, Draconic Roar. I'm just thinking about stuff for Duress after this game. Only 2 cards for Duress so far, which is not that impressive. Okay. I'm comfortable with that. So I think I just blocked the Mardu Scout still. If I block the Vault Breaker, I can't get it with Harsh Sustenance. So yes, we're going to a dangerously low life total here, but looks like he did bluff me out too. Man, I hate getting bluffed. Oh, I totally got bluffed. All right. So he bluffed me out really good there, unfortunately for us. He got us really good there. So I really hate getting bluffed. Because I tend to play into, like, for the most part, I would like to say I do play around bluffs. And this time he just got us really good. So I could actually play Corpse Weft here. I can also slam an Archfiend of Depravity, which is probably pretty good as well. But Corpse Weft lets me, what, leave up Harsh Sustenance and or a... But it does put it on the battlefield tapped, which means I can't block. Even though there are 3 things, so I could get a 6/6, which is enough to be lethal, but I need an actual blocker. I can play the Shaman as a chump blocker and leave up Harsh Sustenance. That, I think, is actually the best. What this does is effectively leaves me at 4 life with the Harsh Sustenance, and I can still block his plays. Man, that Mardu Scout bluff. What a bummer that was. That's like that was a game-winning bluff right there. And what's hilarious about that is I always see the comments that are like, when I block a card that requires a trick, people are like, "Why didn't you see it coming, bro?" And then I play around it and it turns out it was just a bluff. And I assure you, I'm not going to see one comment that was like, "Dude, why didn't you know it was a bluff, bro? You didn't know it was a bluff?" People just love to pretend like they have foreknowledge of how the game turns out. Oh, it's interesting. 2 cards left. I kind of don't want Tim to vault break. He has to pay 2 anyway. Well, here's the thing. I guess if he has a removal spell. Well, if he has a removal spell, it doesn't matter. Because he can't attack with Behemoth and he can't really attack with Mardu Scout. So I think we sustenance the Vault Breaker so he doesn't get a loot. And if he burns our Shaman in response, we still gain a life and can effectively block the world. So now he really doesn't have a good attack. It's actually interesting that he didn't attack at all. So he's got a dash creature. He has 2 cards in hand. I think we just go defeat plus Sandstorm Charger. And I think we just get in for 10 here. All right. Amazingly walked away from that one with a victory. Even past his Mardu Scout bluff that got him so close to victory. So our opponent's deck is Red Deck Wins. He's got some great looking cards in there. Relatively low curve. Yeah, just good curve, good cheap threats. Coat with Venom I think is going to be really important in this matchup. I don't think I can pull the trigger on Duress. Ancestral Vengeance kills Mardu Scout. Doesn't kill much beyond that. Interesting. Do I want to bring in like an Icebreaker? Do I want to bring in like a Dutiful Attendant or a Sadist even as like a way to gain some life? And 1/3 body blocks Zergo pretty much only. Oh yeah, we want to take out Defeat. Defeat looked terrible there. We saw 1 creature that I can kill. Everything else in his deck survives Defeat, so I don't like it. Choices are really Sadist for life gain, just because life gain seems pretty important in this matchup. Or Icebreaker, because a 2/3 body might be good. Duress, because he's got Draconic Roars, as well as Teamer Battle Rage. But he does seem to be much creature heavier than burn heavy, which tells me I might want the Sadist on the draw. The problem is I still have to lose a creature. I mean, it's not that great. Corpse Weft seems slow against their Red Deck Wins. I'm pretty tempted to cut the Corpse Weft, bring in a Sadist and a Dutiful Attendant. This lets me possibly trade with a Mardu Scout and bring back a creature, and also give us a little bit of Sadist synergy, gives us a little bit of life gain. We'll see how that pans out for us. All right, well, 5-lander with a 2 and 3 drop that are okay. Or do I mull? I think I'm going to keep, only because I have a 2 and 3 drop. But yes, this hand is also reliant on drawing some actual spells to be good. But I think it's worth a try. The Shaman actually looks pretty bad in this matchup just because, especially on the draw, it's very unlikely I'm going to be the aggressor. So utilizing this dash ability or this into the battlefield ability in an effective manner, I think is unlikely. Pretty happy he didn't have a Zergo there. I think we're pretty likely playing a Sadist as a 1-3 next turn, but we'll see. All right, so we are in fact going to do that. So making him use a burn on Sadist is okay in my book. All right, a Morph. Hey, something we can defeat? That's not fair. All right, drop the Shaman. Granted, it's not for any value here, but I'm trying to think which mono-red morphs I'd have to worry about. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm taking this. I just don't want to run the risk of losing my guy needlessly. Oof. Outpost Siege is a good one. So he's getting an extra card each turn. Sandstorm Charger is pretty reasonable. Guess we play it and get in for 2. Hopefully find an opportunity to Harsh Sustenance his guy or unmorph our morph. Alright, so he gets a free land. Warbringer's a pretty good one. Makes all your dash cheaper, which is quite nice. I'm going to take this. Coat with Venom is a pretty good draw. I think I'm just going to pass. So now my plan is unmorph the Sandstorm Charger or possibly coat with Venom if he just dashes plus swings. It tells me he's got Battle Rage, so I'd rather coat with Venom, I think. Although he doesn't have... Thing is, I can coat with Venom plus Harsh Sustenance, which kind of makes that play more appealing to me. I guess he can Draconic Roar in response, but in response to that, I guess he can Harsh Sustenance his morph. I wish I could harsh sustenance that. I think we're just going to harsh sustenance this now. Alright, so we got a 2-for-1 on us. We just took care of a little hasty guy, which admittedly is not that special. That was a bad draw. So now we're in a pretty tricky spot, unfortunately, because I basically am out of gas. Alright. Wandering Champ is acceptable, but it's going to be pretty tough to beat a Outpost Siege. I certainly can't race. Tarkir Efreet, jeez. It's a pretty good one. So he gets to kill my Wandering Champ as well. It's pretty harsh. So he gets a free kill, which is really bad for us since we're in top deck mode and already very much behind due to the Outpost Siege. Very, very much behind. So we're going to need something that's not a land. I would go for bombs. Oh, looks like land it is, so pretty tough spot since we're... Oh, and he gets the loose column off the top. Yeah, we are actually just dead, which is also not good, but we did not have ideal draws this game, so you can't get the best draws every time. So what do I want to change for game 3? What do I want to change for game 3? I'm not exactly sure. I wasn't thrilled about the Carsey Sadist. So my opponent's got Tail Slash. I guess to be honest, I'd rather play Duress. So he does in fact have Morphs, which means there is stuff I can defeat. I think I'm going to ditch the Sadist. Attendant at least trades. I don't like it on the play so much, to be honest. But it does at least trade with a Mardu Scout and net me a card. Is that enough? Probably not. I probably just want an Icebreaker instead. Why would an Icebreaker be better? It trades with an Tarkir Efreet, trades with a Kolagam Singer, trades with a Vault Breaker. That's enough reasoning for me. I have no way to deal with his Outpost Siege, but I'm just going to have to deal with that. I do have the Duress, I guess. That's yet another thing to hit with Duress. So Duress should absolutely be in. I think I'm just going to play Icebreaker over Sadist and run it again. Alright. Great looking hand. Once again, same rule as before. Duress cannot possibly get better than turn 1. Opponent takes a mull. Snap keeps at 6. Outpost Siege, gone. Very nice. So, Hardened Berserker, Aspirant are the cards we know about. And then 3 mountains, of course. I would say taking care of the siege is enormously beneficial at this point. Fine draw. Can't play it for a little while, but it did win us game 1. I don't want to trade. Much rather keep a Vigilant guy around. And it's just a fine opportunity to use Coat with Venom. So he's got Hardened Berserker now. And we are officially out of info on our opponent. So we're just going to swing into that post-combat play, Dragon Bell Monk. Very close to our Regent at this point as well. I may actually do the Sandstorm Charger. Although, if I draw a 5th land, I'm just going to do Sunscorch Regent instead. Let's do a Monk. What I like about the Monk is it allows me to swing in with both my guys vigilantly, which is just nice. It's an easy block with Herald, because Monk has prowess. All right, Morph. Good draw there. Could have Draconic Roar, he could have drawn it, but I'm going to Coat with Venom. Alright, he did have Draconic Roar, which is a big old bummer, but that stuff happens, and I'm going to accept it. So, still rather him, I guess, kill that than kill my Sandstorm Charger. He did have to draw Draconic Roar in the last 2 turns for that play to not work out that way. So, that just is one of those unfortunate things, but it's not the end-all be-all. At least now spells gain us life, so Lose Calm's not going to kill us right away. And we've got a big... what are other morphs he could even have? I don't know. Not worth the risk. He did already prove that he's a bluffer, but I guess I just don't care. Guess we bash in. Now we've got lethal in many ways on our next turn. And spells he plays nets us life, which is also very good. All right. So Behemoth can block. But it can't block both, and he has to pay mana, so we do win with the Vanguard. We play Vanguard, he pays 2 mana to be able to block. He blocks our 4/5, he takes 8. We win. All right. Won our 8-4. First 8-4 of Dragon's format that I've won with. I'd be lying if I said our games weren't close. They certainly were. Each match, I feel like, at least had one challenging match, or challenging game, rather. I guess we did pretty awesome in game one, or match one. MVPs. Duress played amazingly well out of sideboard in matches 1 and 3, taking Reach of Shadows in match 1, which allowed us to resolve and keep an Archfiend of Depravity, and a Outpost Siege in match 3, which allowed our opponent, which allowed us to just outgas our opponent. We were on the play, we had great turn progressions, so very satisfied with this deck. Even getting 2-for-1 with Coat with Venom multiple times still did not end up costing us the match, which is amazing in itself. So I'm very thankful, very fortunate. We're very fortunate to have drawn as well as we did. We got some nice victories out of this. This black-white deck played very well for us. And we certainly got some victories on the back of that Sunscorch Regent. So very cool, very fun. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next draft, which will definitely be an 8-4.